Hey everybody, welcome back. The stipulation tours are a necessary part of the game. They've locked 5 out of the 6 feud promoters behind stipulation currency, whether it's the regular Gemania tours or the marquee tours. And then there are A and S tier shards in those shops as well, in case you missed one of those from the previous months and are especially close. You can kind of grind it out and get to them. As such, I've found that it's good to kind of think and strategize what you're going to do when it comes to the stipulation tours. And I've got a couple of cards on my roster that are really good at one specific thing and that will carry me through. So for the multiply stipulation, the Miz is about the best card on my roster for that. He does break anywhere between 36 and 42-ish per turn, and that usually carries me through. This isn't necessarily a leaderboard setup though, so this is not a guide to get you into the top 10. This will just get you through it. All right. So a couple things to look at when you're looking at stip tours. First is, how does it score? This is a marquee tour, so there are 2 stipulations here for specialty gems, but you don't need to concentrate on both, especially with the Miz and multiplies here. He will destroy enough multiplies to get you through at least 2 stars in hell, if not 3. The last node gets a little dicey sometimes, but it can be done. And then enforcers are also relatively important. The first slot always just boosts your chips, which is fantastic because that's the whole point, is gaining the econ from the stip tours or the marquee tours. So you always want to have one in here. Their talent dictates how effective they are. Now, I'm not going to sit here and suggest that you have Showboat Page racked up to 30 grand talent, but it wouldn't be, keep an eye on who cycles through here because they're not static. They're not the same every time. And maybe pick 1 or 2 to bring up to the next rarity in a talent up event if you're out of moves, right? Batista here, this is a happy accident. I already have him at 22,500 talent, and he's the one that's going to boost score for multiply gems by 37.5%. And then Typhoon over here, I don't have him at 15k, so he's down here at this 12.5%. That's really going to help us 3-star. It's really going to. And then the last thing it's going to help us 3-star is our stipulation promoter. Right now, I've got mine up to a 50% boost. 11k would bring him up to 70, 15k is 100, 21k is 150. I'm not saying to prioritize this particular promoter, but if you've got your feud, showdown notoriety, and your showdown coin promoters maxed, definitely max these guys too. It makes this game mode a lot easier, especially in the held. Okay. You can already see the moveset here. It's the traditional Miz moveset, yellow, yellow, green. F Nelson neckbreaker, choose 4 gems to make into snowfalls. Break the snowfalls and its multis X4s underneath them. Discus punch, choose a 6x1 area to swap into green gems. That's how you're going to break your snowfalls. And then the green move here, make 40 randos into yellow gems. Gem board only has 49 on it. You're going to be tossing 40 yellow. On top of that, you're essentially going to break the board. In Entourage, it is a tour setup. I think this is just how I normally run him. There's nothing you can really do to throw out more multis with this setup. So this is how I run him. Actually, this is a feud setup. So I run him in feuds. So let's play. The first thing you want to do, check and see what they're running. Make sure there's no subs and make sure there's no stuns. If there are, bring props. Stuns and subs will wreck your flow, and generally, at least in the hell mode section of the tour, if you're not the most efficient and flowing the right way, you don't have a shot. You've got to be able to execute your moves in order to score, and subs and stuns really, really slow you. But the game here does not have any of that stuff going on, so we're just gonna roll with it. The biggest problem I have with the Stip Tours is it's grindy. That's really it. Each one of these matches usually takes, a couple minutes. Which is, I mean, it is what it is. I'm sure it's designed for purpose. But you can see we're throwing snowfalls at the top. We're going to break them. I'm going to break the entire top row. Now I have 42 multis to break. Typical Miz gameplay. Should have mentioned I have the stealing the briefcase moment. And it will add 8 extra snowfall gems to any move that creates snowfall gems. That's why I can create 12 of them. I don't need to create 12. Creating 12 doesn't help you. It's more clicks. Okay. You need the top row. That's it. Turn most of the top row green. Throw a whole bunch of multis. Rinse and repeat. You can see kind of what's happening here, right? Fortunately, his move charge was relatively high, so we've been able to get through a couple of turns without having to watch his animations. I'm not too concerned about a pin here. I'm not even really concerned about him wiping out my multiply gems. I'm not going to take the 5 break because I don't want the wild card on the board, like wild card anyway. But I didn't want to intentionally put one on. Let me just keep rolling again. This is essentially the entire strategy, though. Rinse and repeat. Watch your little progress bar go up. And just by judging, we're going to be able to see how important it is to have your stip promoters. We're going to see if the stip promoter can't actually carry me to a 3-star. I'm not entirely convinced I'm going to be able to get there on my own. Who do you guys use for Multiply Stip Tours? Is there somebody really obvious that I'm forgetting here that I should be thinking of? Seems to work pretty well. And really, I guess at the end of the day, if you don't have Miz, there are other cards that could be fairly useful for this. D'Lo makes a whole bunch of multiplies and would probably be pretty good for this particular stipulation, the multiply gems. He doesn't make as many multiply gems as the Miz does, I don't think. But he still makes a good amount. And if you pair that with like an actual blue multiply, I think that would be pretty effective. And I don't think we're actually going to be able to get to the true 3-star here. So we will be able to see the stip promoter in action. Let's see. Right, so I didn't get there. That star is currently empty. But at your end screen here, there was your promoter bonus. I don't think you can see it on this screen. Nope. But the promoter bonus gave me enough extra points, that almost 40,000, to get me right here to that 3rd star. So there we go. That's what we needed. I hope we learned something today. I hope you've been entertained by something today. And if you did, do me a favor, click like, click subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.